So guys, Rufai of Arise Television and Sowore have all reacted to Tinubu trying to intimidate the NLC chairman. We all know that the police has, invited him for questioning. Let's take a look at the reaction coming from Sowore, and it says, the Tinubu's regime is going completely fascist, and we must all together and stop him now. See a letter from Nigerian police summoning the NLC president, practically accusing him of treason, terrorism, financing, and all sorts of heinous crime. Fearless October, end bad governance, revolution now. Those hashtags he attached. So guys, this is what we are seeing. I'm going to let you listen for yourself what Rufai said about all this. What a country are we having? What kind of country are we having in this Nigeria, where people will just wake up and lay all kinds of allegations? In case you don't know, these allegations are heavy. They are heavy, and if they could have their way, the NLC chairman might just spend all his life in jail, coming up to begin to lay this kind of allegation. Some people have come out to say, yes, it's because he's an Igbo man and all kinds of things. Tribe has come into all this. Don't forget that the UAE sent a list of those who are financing terrorism in Nigeria. Up to today, the APC government went silent on that list. But they just woke up to lay this kind of allegation on NLC chairman because they feel maybe he can do nothing. Or is it because he's an Igbo man? So guys, let me allow you listen for yourself what Rufai said in this video. Just take a look.
The Nigerian police force has summoned Joe Ajaero, the national president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, for questioning over allegations of terrorism financing, treasonable felony, subversion, cybercrime, and other related offences. The invitation letter signed by ACP Adamu Muazu on behalf of the Deputy Commissioner of Police Intelligence Response Team warned that a warrant of arrest would be issued if Ajaero failed to comply. There has been a plethora of reactions to the charges of terrorism leveled against the NLC president, including the presidential candidate of the African Action Congress in the 2023 election, Omoyele Sowore, who said Nigeria is descending into a state of fascism which must be resisted. His tweet reads, the Tinubu regime is completely going fascist and we must all together and stop him now. See a letter from the police NG summoning the NLC headquarters president, practically accusing him of treason and all sorts of heinous crimes. Another tweet from Oluwatosi there reads, I feel no pity for the NLC leader. He has romanced the oppressors so much and failed to engage the powers of the pressure group to demand better governance when he had the opportunity. Now they are turning the tables against him and Bushmeat is about to catch the hunter. The last tweet there reads, inviting someone for investigation does not mean he's guilty. If the police have evidence, they can invite, and if after questioning he's not guilty, he will be released. Being an NLC president doesn't mean he's not a Nigerian. Allow him to go and clear his name. Now, of course, a lot of reactions are coming in are saying that the police reactions to this had gone, before this happened, had actually gone to the NLC headquarters and there had been a brouhaha between the both parties on August 7th. What are your thoughts about this? Ladies first.
Okay, ladies first.
Thank you very much. All right, so first of all, thank you for giving us the detail of that and the tweet by Omoyele Sowore that we are descending into a fascist state whereby there's high-handedness, especially if it's perceived that you're not, you're anti this administration, and that's where the challenge is. So the story around this is that the police had said they raided the Central Business District, which also houses the NLC headquarters, and then we all know what happened, NLC coming out to say that, and there was a back and forth between the NLC and the police, and after which it almost seems as if this is a response to that audacity to come out to have a public altercation with the police, and now they've invited in Comrade Joe Ajaero for questionings. A number of things would come up. Why did they move the goalpost from the fact that there was a foreigner whom they were looking to arrest and had nothing to do with NLC to then moving the goalpost to now being the NLC president himself facing allegations like this. So when we hear situations like this, then it's almost tantamount to an abuse of power. And because if the story is already out there, the headlines are out there. If they come out later and say, okay, we've done our investigations, the hands are clean, it doesn't erase the embarrassment. And the headlines have already gone out against Comrade Joe Ajero and how this presents, not just nationwide, but internationally as well for him. And that's why I agree with the fact that we have to be careful. Don't overexert your authority. Don't be seen to be a state where justice isn't being done or justice isn't being served.
All right, then.
Yeah, so look, all these, whenever you bring up charges of terrorism financing, there are quick and fast ways to find out how these things work out, right? With respect to channels, financial channels. So to Ayo's point, if it turns out that this is just trumped up, he really should pursue legal channels for all that he's being put through as of right now. Definitely. Rufai.
Rotus, you say I should be optimistic in Nigeria. There you go again. Number one, the police went in. They disrupted the NLC place. For close to a week, nobody accepted responsibility. In fact, at some point, we're calling out DSS. DSS said, it's not me. Nobody's talked. Until when the shame was so much, the police accepted. And after police accepting, the next thing they talked about is the easy, quick win. It's terrorism. Looking for terrorism suspects. Then the next thing, the NLC had a very strong reaction by saying, you have no right to come to our place and do all of this you have done. Then the next thing you say, the NLC boss should come and answer questions for terrorism. That's the way the police works in Nigeria. You talk back, you are being gagged and being harassed. So if Joe Ajero had anything to do with terrorism, wouldn't the DSS have picked him up all this while? All of a sudden, it's down the police that is leading this investigation. And because Joe Ajero and the NLC spoke back, then they are being gagged. But a flip side of it says, I will always speak for justice, but these are the things we tell the NLC. When in the fight for getting the minimum wage and all of that, we constantly ask questions. It looks as though they were pivoting. This is what they get for it. This is the same police that did not stand up to defend Joe Ajero when he was beaten in Imo State. As a law-abiding citizen, Joe Ajero should go and attend and talk to them. Should also go with his lawyers.
Definitely.
But the truth has to be said. We have seen this card play out.
All right, then. Thank you so much for your comments, team. Let's move on to our next story. The Socioeconomic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has urged the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, to disclose the exact amount of monthly running costs allotted to the members of the National Assembly. SERAP requested the spending details of any of such running costs as well. The group's demand is coming on the heels of the recent controversy surrounding the salary of senators. It's also told them to end the alleged practice of paying running costs into the personal accounts of lawmakers and to refer the alleged misuse or mismanagement of the running cost to appropriate anti-corruption agencies for investigation and prosecution where there is relevant admissible evidence. Meanwhile, in an interview on Arise Newsnight, former lawmaker Senator Ishaku Abo, who represented Adamawa North Senatorial District, disclosed that the monthly earnings of senators, which may appear substantial on paper, are often insufficient to meet the demands and challenges of the office. Abo further shared insights from his time in the Senate, shedding light on the financial realities faced by lawmakers. Let's take a look.
I was in the Senate. Cumulatively, all the allowances put together was 14.4 million naira per month.
Okay.
My salary was 1.something million naira. You have wardrobe allowances, you have your vehicle allowances, you have other allowances put together. It was 14.4 million naira. 29 million looks big on paper.
Just on paper?
Just on paper. I am saying this as a very honest man. I am not trying to support National Assembly, an institution so vilified, and I have been a member of that vilified institution for 5 years. Let me say this on a live national television. I am poorer, much, much poorer as a man when I became a politician than I was before I became a politician.
You give an empirical fact that is poorer after I became a politician. You should show us how much he was worth before he was a senator and after he was a senator. You should show us if he had all the good things of life he had after becoming a senator. These guys really think we are done. We are Dundee United in this country. That we don't even know what we are doing. They think we are Dundee United. We are fools. No, we are not. They earn these big fat salaries. They don't even retire the money most of the time. The money is going to their accounts. What Ramfak is saying is different. It's supposed to be a 1 million threshold, but what these guys go on with is different. Even when you now look at it, coupled with the fact that they go on with big fat cars. Do most of them drop the cars they drive that government provide for them afterwards? Mass minus prayers in their accounts. What if they give them good juicy committees? Juicy committees. Do they know how much they get from juicy committees? What about what they also get from budget padding in constituency projects? The other day, the ICPC did an investigative work as regards how most of them don't remit their constituency project. We did not see the end of that work. It's not most of the constituency things that collected that they were looted during NSAS because they didn't give it to the people. You're now telling me that you were poorer. Really? You were so poor. Don't let me recall what happened at the sex shop.
No, off your mic.
Let's off your mic,
Off
please.
your mic.
Oh, Rufai has a point. You never faced. You were
so less busy.
I apologize, but
then you were doing. Yeah. Sex shop is your personal life. You should bring out the empiric. I challenge him to give us the facts of what his earnings were before he became a senator and after he became a senator, and the quality of life.
And that's what Sarah wants.
But see, look, in say income taxes, deductions, these things, as I mentioned with the terrorism financing, if you accuse somebody of terrorism financing, but like Ajero, you have money that has been wired, money that has been transferred. Yes, it's going somewhere. So the same thing with this. This whole thing about how much senators earn and bring your facts, the income taxes are paid, deductions are made from... These things have an electronic trace.
The issue here is the allowances and the running costs.
And the fact that it's paid directly to their accounts.
So that's what we want to... Let us see... If they're going to pay running costs into their accounts, then every transaction made on the running costs must be electronic and must be traceable.
Yes.
What a lot of people have complained about is the opacity of how these monies are spent. So, for instance, if I were a senator, I can say that I withdrew X amount of money to go and give to do X, Y, Z. It is the opacity. Let us see the books. If this money was not part of your salary, you don't have the right to spend it at will. You are accountable to the people, and that's what Serap is asking, that you are spending taxpayers' money. These are the people that are paying the taxes. Then we have a right to ask you to account for how that money is spent. Because I'm saying this to say that one of the other things that has been heavily criticized is the fact that the Senate and the Assembly members have the right to fix their own salaries, their allowances, and other running costs. And this should not be so. You cannot fix what you are earning. It doesn't make any sense. Definitely. And then if we're being factual, let's look at the lifestyle of this. How many of those members have other jobs that they're doing? A lot of them are career politicians. So if you want to justify the fact that you're able to afford certain homes, able to afford travel, then justify it based on the 1-point-something million you're earning, especially if you don't have interest. I think the last time, what I'm correct is that it's only agricultural business. I don't know if it applies to that they can do. So how are you able to afford the lifestyle that, is it family inheritance? Is it who is funding your lifestyle? So these are things that are clear, even before we start saying release your statement. That's one. Then the final point I want to make is that it is unfair to the Nigerian taxpayer who is doing a lot of work, working full-time, not getting a lot of recess time, a lot of time to go out, and then earning a pittance where we're arguing for 70,000 minimum wage. And there are people there who are sitting. How many of these people, if you look at the American Congress, you can trace the extent of the work that each of the members do. How many bills they've sponsored, what they have done, how they represent their people. How many of the people sitting in that house can you speak for like that? How many percentage of our lawmakers are doing the work that they were elected to do?
And
that's what I'll say.
To piggyback off that point, how many of them are doing the work that they were elected to do? Everyone should go out there and follow budgets and also called Tracker. Tracker is a under budget. They keep posting on Twitter, this senator got this amount for this constituency. They'll put a picture. How much
was spent.
But every single time, we keep hearing from the SERAPs and the budgets and the trackers of this world. You don't hear from the constituents. If you live in an estate and your estate gate is not working, you will complain to the estate people because you are paying a service charge, you are paying a fee. If an AC goes out, if the road is bad. I would like to, whenever we bring these things up, like when they trend, to hear from the constituents whom these lawmakers are representing, because for some reason, well, they don't speak. We need to hear from them now. It's always SERAP, tracker, budget, and then us here.
The constituents are constantly speaking. Look at the Ota Road. As the constituents have not been speaking for ages about the poor state of roads in Ogun State. Road
You're talking about the state, not about the Senate, not about the legislature.
Yeah, even the Senate. I mean, they are senatorial
lawmakers.
Yeah, senatorial district in states.
Yeah.
What we are saying is, you don't even need to go further. ICPC, government agency, did an investigative report that lawmakers do not spend their constitutional allowance judiciously. Nothing happened.
Can I just say also that poverty is a weapon?
That's just
the constituents are too hungry to
What
find out who they are. So they're trying to
thinking
put,
about
they're
what
on
to
queues.
Yes.
They're on few petrol queues.
Let's go to our next
please,
story.
Please.
Yes, the presidency has unveiled the new Airbus A330 purchased under President Bola Tinubu. Bayo Ononuga, who is the special advisor to the president on information and strategy, released the pictures on Monday and said it's replaced the 19-year-old Boeing B737-700 bought under the presidency of President Olusegun Obasanjo. Although he did not disclose the amount it was purchased, Ononuga said the new plane was bought far below the market price and it saved Nigeria huge maintenance and fuel costs running into millions of dollars yearly. According to him, the recommendation to replace the aircraft followed an investigative hearing by Nigeria's parliament that questioned its safety record and cost efficiency, especially after it malfunctioned during a trip to Saudi Arabia. Now, of course, this happened yesterday, and since then, we've had loads of reactions and it's trending on X. Now, our first tweet there reads, "At last, our priorities have crystallized. A new plane decked out with all the state-of-the-art trimming, spacious interiors, custom designs, and cutting-edge communication systems. Because, naturally, in a nation grappling with hunger and economic woes, ensuring our leaders can jet off in opulent style is absolutely at the top of the urgent needs list. How comforting it must be to fly high above the trivial concerns of daily sustenance and economic hardship that plague your countrymen below. Truly, what better way to tackle national crisis than from the comfortable, cushioned seats of a luxurious aircraft?" The next tweet there reads, "You mocked the president and the nation when the plane broke down in Saudi Arabia. Now the Senate has replaced it. You are crying insensitivity, as if the president withheld your state government allocations. Use this same energy and demand accountability from your governors." The last tweet there reads, "Finally, Tinubu has admitted buying new presidential jet. Congratulations to the sacrificing Nigerians who contributed to the purchase. Safe trip to the ever-caring and understanding Jagaban of our time, Emilokon One of Africa." And finally, the last tweet there reads, "We need to wash our new jet with some bags of rice when he arrives."
Senator, thank you for the second tweet. And this is what I was saying with respect to the constituents. You've got to hold onto the same energy and demand accountability from your governors. You cannot skip the people who are in charge of your own particular constituency, your senators and so on, and keep jumping to the presidency. Look, we talked about this jet thing, I know we're almost out of time. When Femi Otedola, the strong man of the capital markets, brought up this jet matter with banks when he was supporting the windfall tax. Do you want the president to get into an accident? President Trump, former President Trump, had a malfunction. He used a Jeffrey Epstein's jet. People were all hullabaloo about it. Do you want President Tinubu to be at the airport queuing with you for a flight that is going to be delayed?
That's okay.
Do you want, so these are the things that we have. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. There are your palliatives are going out there. They are doing what they can to try to alleviate suffering. You cannot say he should not have should he not have a plane? Should the plane malfunction? I know it's not a popular statement to be made, right? But do you want the president to be sitting with you at the airport waiting for a plane that you have sent some tweets out about delayed
some of
flights?
the issues of the people while he's waiting for a flight on a lighter note.
Hold governors accountable. Governors are also senators, constituents. Step up and make this noise about the people you elected in office. Hold them accountable.
who are into all this. What kind of country are we living in? This APC is a pure scam. The APC-led administration is a pure scam to this country. It's the worst thing that has ever happened to Nigeria. You can imagine them waking up to start laying this kind of allegation on people. And one keeps wondering, what is even giving these people this kind of boldness? You just wake up, you say somebody committed treason, the person committed this, committed that, and all that. So, it's really, really so pathetic looking at the way things are happening in this country. And so many people are not happy, you know. Yes, some people have said the NLC chairman should go and answer if he's innocent. Can you imagine the NLC chairman being the one sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria? It's unbelievable. And then he's being called out for treason. And oh my God. Anyway, some people have actually accused the NLC chairman because he has never taken any tough stance on this government. You know, each time they will come out to do gra. Before you know it, they will come out to say they want to go on strike. Before you know it, the strike is called off. Before you know it, they've settled with the government. And the masses will not see that settlement, will not see any evidence. You know, since this NLC chairman came in, I don't know if it's that he's easily being bribed or what. Why is it that he had opportunity? Okay, somebody was saying that he had opportunity to have held this government on its neck. But he never took advantage of that. Not until now that this government is going after them. And what do you expect? You can't do anything. You can't do anything. And that's why so many people are reacting that it's good for him because he had opportunity to have changed the trajectory. Because people don't even understand the power that the NLC has. You don't know the power of this movement. This movement can shut down this nation. This movement can cripple a government. This movement can make everywhere to stand still. And they keep romancing with the government. They keep eating with them on the same table. You are eating with your enemies on the same table. That is why people are not happy with the NLC chairman. Because he had this unique opportunity to have changed things for Nigeria. But, you know, he decided to be whining and dining. I don't even know the language to use. I mean, he didn't go tough on this government. Look at this, the minimum wage. Even when the Tinubu's government said they are going to pay 70%, this Ajero cannot negotiate for 100,000 naira. Tinubu's government offered 70, they just accepted. They couldn't insist for 100,000 pay for a typical Nigerian worker. Let's say money that can buy at least a bag of rice. They couldn't. And that's why people are accusing him now, that it appears he's just romancing with the government and does not care about the people. Yes, that's what happens when you don't take tough stance, you know, on situation like this, that is very sensitive and that has to do with the lives of the ordinary masses. So, guys, that is it. I don't know what you make of all this, but I love the fact that people like Sowore are speaking up, you know. We expect other political figures, other presidential candidates, they should lend their voices. They shouldn't be quiet. They shouldn't allow this government to just be taking laws into their hands. And tomorrow they tell us they are looking for investors. A country where rule of law does not exist. A country that does not respect the rights of the citizens. A country that can just come up on its own and begin to lay allegations on you. I don't know what kind of nation is that. And that is where we found ourselves. So, guys, I don't know what you make of this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think it is wise for the Nigerian police to have laid this kind of allegations, you know, on the NLC chairman? So many people have said, bring forward your evidence. If indeed you have evidence against him, put them forward. Let's see. Yes, we are hoping that the police does that. Bring the evidence you have to the public domain. Let's know that the NLC chairman has been the one financing terrorism in Nigeria. So, guys, that is it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others. And drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you.